We are back with more of What's Now. Another great series is back for season 2. This time it's P-Valley. Recently spoke with one of the stars of this series all about the role that he plays in this. Let's take a look.
Grit and glitter are back, and the much-anticipated return of Star's hit drama P-Valley. Today we have the opportunity to catch up with one of the stars of the hit series. Nicco Annan is joining us today. How are you? Excited about the show?
I am well. I'm well. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk first about season 1 and what we need to know leading up to season 2.
Season 1 basically is the introduction to this world of Chucalissa, Mississippi. Chucalissa is this fictitious place down in the Delta, the dirty Delta, the Bible Beltway here in the South. And there's this club in Chucalissa called the Pynk, P-Y-N-K, and it's a strip club. And I liken the Pynk to Cheers, that was on the show with Ted. Was it Ted Danson? Yeah, it was. Everybody knows, a place where everyone knows your name. So it's this Southern fried drama where these characters come in through the door, they're revolving around, and you get to experience those lives of the people and experience a Southern experience.
You know, it's struggling to stay open due to the pandemic. I think so many people and small businesses can definitely relate to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Season 2 definitely addresses the pandemic head on. And we're like just dropped in the bucket in the Pynk. I play the character Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford is the non-binary proprietor of the Pynk. And basically we have to find our way to stay afloat. And, you know, if you followed season 1, you will know that there's this other character. Her name is Autumn Knight or Lakeisha Savage or Haley Colton. She has a couple of aliases, but she is now the quote unquote owner of the Pynk. So there's a good cantankerous relationship that happens over the season. But I think that this season, basically, to sum it up, there's a line that we say in the show that fairy tales are nothing but horror stories with happy endings. And I think that this season being dropped into the middle of the pandemic, you get to see these characters like ourselves, many of us in the world, be able to rewrite our own stories to find our survival and tenacity through this time.
Oh, that's so true. I am curious, tell me a little bit more about your character and some of the challenges of playing it.
Playing Uncle Clifford, I think that one of the things, I think that there's always a level of explanation. You know, I think for some, Uncle Clifford is different she is different than most people may think. I don't think that she is. I think that the initial interpretation of her can be very different. I think that people sometimes, when they encounter non-binary people or other people along the LGBTQ plus spectrum, there is this this idea of who they are and not allowing the true experience of who they are. And I think that through the show, you get to experience who Uncle Clifford truly is. You get to see her in her full life. You see this being, this person that is dark-skinned, that is tall, that is full-figured, that is all these things, that is equally masculine and feminine. And you get to see her really take up space. And I think that's a nod to all of the characters, to be honest with you, in P-Valley. I think that one of the things that Katori Hall, the creator of the show, she really does is subvert the expectation that you have over these marginalized communities.
And I think that Uncle Clifford, that all of us can relate to her and her experiences in many unique ways. Do you think that's true?
Yes, absolutely. I think that that's a part, I know, as playing the character, that's definitely a part of the intention, so that we all can just be who you are. There is no reason why a woman has to move a certain way to get up the ladder, you know, that she has to, quote unquote, wear a suit. You know, there's no reason why a man has to not be able to get in touch with his emotions, you know, to be able to connect or to make a business decision. There's no reason, I think, like, you know, LGBTQ plus people, my queer community, we take up space. We are who we are. We deserve to be here. We, by birth, we've earned the right, all of us, to be here in this space called the world and just love. And I think that's one of the messages of P Valley, that love is love and that we are all worthy of it.
When you first originated the role of Uncle Clifford in the stage version of P Valley, did you ever imagine that it would go this far?
I saw a glimpse. I saw a glimpse of what God had for me on this journey, but not all of it. But I think that's intentional. You can't always see the full view, because if you see the full view, sometimes you mess it up. So, there were little slivers of truth along the way. But, I was talking to Katori the other day and I was telling her about when we were doing the theater production and you would have talkbacks like with the audience at matinee performances or, certain performances throughout the run of the show. And to see so many people that looked other than the world that we were reflecting on the stage connect to the story, connect to the people. I knew at that point, I was like, oh, this is special. This is Mo Better special. This is a piece of work I know that can transcend age, time, region. I think that it's not just, even though the story takes place in the South, I think it's a story that's relatable to people internationally. It's not just something that's only myopic.
Were there any difficulties taking that character from stage to film? I know this is season 2, so you've been doing it for a while now, but was it pretty smooth?
It was a great process, but again, it's about education sometimes, educating people on the difference. I think a lot of times for this character of Uncle Clifford, people initially may have thought that she was a drag queen or that she was trans. And I think that there's so much space that we all occupy that it's about the conversation that's starting in when you engage with people by asking them, like, how do you identify? Which pronouns do you use? I think that level of conversation creates an empathy with us as a community, as a society. And I'm happy that the art is kind of reflecting what the world is as well as what it could be.
Oh, she's just such a great character. I've loved talking more about her with
you.
Anything else, though, that we need to know heading into P Valley season 2?
I think that when you head into P Valley season 2, I say, be ready, be ready, be ready. I say, don't be afraid to have fun. If you are watching season 2, that means you are still here. That means you have made it through the pandemic. That means that there's a reason for you to still be here. So find that reason, because the characters this season are doing just that. They are finding their purpose in life and fighting for their time in the sun. And you do the same.
Oh, so very well said. Thank you so much, Nicco Annan, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. P Valley Season 2 premieres Friday, June 3rd, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Starz. Thanks again for your time.
You're welcome. I'll see y'all up top in the mountains, down in the pain.